What happens if hope and wishes disappear?
So hope and
wishes.
Well, but when there is no me, all hope and wishes die with me. Me is a dreamer, but lives in a dream of hope and wishes.
But there is still a fear that I can lose the control about my life.
You never had any. There is no one that has any control at all. The control you think you're going to lose is already illusory. There is no one.
And then?
And then, what's next? All of this is this. There's no one, there's nothing but this. But what is and isn't. So when all there is what is, there is no hope and there's nothing to wish for. There's no need to wish for anything because everything is unconditional love.
Yes, but I feel still as a person, I am still here.
Yeah, you're still a person who wishes.
But I don't have wishes or I don't have hope or I just live.
No, as a person, even though you may not recognize it, you're always hoping or wishing. Because as a person, you live in an artificial world that is actually constantly dissatisfying, although it may not seem to be, and there are times when you feel you're completely satisfied. Underneath that is a longing to come home. Constantly. So there's always a wish to come But the problem is that you won't be there. You will never come home, but they will be home. You are that which is never at home.
So I am still in the illusion.
No.
Tony, can you please tell a little bit more about this unconditional love? There's only
No, it's like saying, can you talk a bit more about air?
Yeah, why not?
Except that I can't, this is indescribable. But it's all embracing. It is, all unconditional love is terror, and what the mind would think of as terror, and ugliness, and uncomfortableness, and comfort, and warmth, and marshmallows. It just is everything, but it can't be described. When there is no one, it is all there is. So how can no one describe all there is?
Thank you.
What are we doing here in this meeting?
But you may think that you are someone sitting there trying to get something, and it may dawn on you that actually there is nothing to get. But what the me does is to go and get things. The me, the person, is always trying to get things. So the me would come to a meeting like this or anywhere else in order to attain something or gain something or whatever. But in reality, there is no one here.
No one here and nothing to attain.
Absolutely. All there is this. That's all there is. In the play, in the game, in the story, you know, the me thinks it's here to get something or learn something. There's nothing to learn. There's no teaching here. There's nothing available.
Just being here.
Well, there is being here, but it isn't available for anyone. Me can't have being.
Just nothing here.
There's nothing here. But when you go home tonight, there's also nothing there. Wherever you go, there's just nothing. I've got plenty of nothing. Nothing's plenty for me. You get music here as well.
Tony, at least I don't have to feel bad for being vain.
Sorry?
At least I don't have to feel bad for being vain myself.
No, I didn't hear any of that.
No?
Say that again.
Like looking at you, or what you're saying, I don't have to feel bad for feeling vain, for being vain myself.
You feel bad for being vain?
No.
I think that's why I'm not hearing this.
No. Never mind.
In this apparent appearance, reality and non-reality, there appears to arise identifying.
Sorry, there appears to arise.
There appears to arise, for a better, or for lack of a better word, for expressing this, a feeling of identification, of identifying.
Yeah.
Something is identifying some kind of a, don't know what to call this either, an energy or whatever, something that seems to be alive and present. And the question arises, how is it possible, or is it possible for this identifying to be here without anybody identifying?
No.
It's not possible. Okay. So what could it be? What could it
Well, it's actually, it is, you know, the word person and identification is only really wholeness arising as apparent identification. But identification in the word means that there is something that identifies. So that is wholeness arising as something that seems to identify.
Yeah, I was afraid to use that word actually.
Yeah, no,
because it didn't seem to be totally right to express what is meant.
Yeah. Well, it's, in another way you could say that when there's something there that something seems to be happening to, then there's a separation.
Yeah, but this is not it.
Oh, okay.
There's not a feeling that there is something happening to anyone.
Okay.
There's just something happening.
Ah.
Yeah?
So I wouldn't call that identity.
Yeah, okay, this is what I'm having difficulty with. I'm calling it identify for lack of a better expression of a word or something. I don't know what would be appropriate.
Well, I don't know. It depends where you're coming from. But if there's no identification and there's only something apparently happening.
That's right. That is what actually is.
That's the natural reality. Yeah.
And still, there is a feeling somewhere of aliveness. Yeah?
Yeah, but then if there's only what's happening, that's all there is.
That's the feeling, just it's happening of aliveness.
Yeah, there's just all there is just aliveness.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's the natural reality. The natural reality is that all there is what's happening, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still that's...
Is that not good enough?
No.
Well, if it's not good enough, then there's something there that still wants more.
It is good enough. It is good enough, definitely.
But now, hold on a minute. You're now using words.
This is it. The words are not working.
No, if it's not good enough, then there's something there that wants more.
No, that's not.
Oh, right. It isn't that it's good enough. It's all there is.
That's right. Whether it's good enough or not.
So if it's all there is, there won't be something else that wants more. If it's all there is, that's all there is.
Okay, so what arises now is some kind of something that wants some kind of understanding.
Oh.
I think so. But I don't know what there is to be understood.
It feels to me more like it's not so much an understanding it's wanted, it's a confirmation that this is it. Is this it? Is this all there is?
No, and it is good enough.
Yeah.
Definitely good enough.
Sure is, man.
Whatever it is. Bad enough.
It's certainly enough.
Yeah, it's enough. Good or bad, whatever.
Tony, what do you think about responsibility?
Oh, well, there is none. In the natural reality, there is nothing that is responsible. because there's nothing that does anything.
But the children exist. They must
Only
eat,
apparently.
they must go to school.
They only apparently exist.
Yes.
And they grow up to learn to be responsible
Yes.
in the story.
In this circle,
In the
yes.
story, the child grows up and learns, I am a person and I'm responsible. And then later on, they meet somebody awful like Tony Parsons. It says, no, you're not, because there isn't anyone.
So there is
Then they
no.
go, sorry,
So there is no responsibility.
there isn't anyone.
But
There's
when
no-
I came home, when I arrived home, there will be, the children will be there.
Oh, but
They wait for me.
If you're in a story, then they are you're both in a story. If there's no one there,
Yes,
it will be seen that the children are in a story.
yes.
And it has no significance at all anymore. Okay? But it's obviously appreciated by no one there, but there's still someone in a story that thinks it is important, and there's nothing that you can do about that. This sees that there are people, or that there's bodies here pretending to be people who think they are responsible. I'm not going to try and dissuade them because they won't ever understand that there's no one there. I can only suggest that there's no one there.
I know. Thank you. Tony, you said, I don't know, a few 2 days ago on Friday, that there is no God.
I don't think I would have said there's no God.
Yes,
But anyway, there is no God.
but there must be. But I feel there must be some creature, some creative energy that creates this planet, this planet, the Earth, all beings. So I can't agree with you with this.
No.
You say the self has no choice, obviously.
Well, actually, in the end, I'm saying there's no self.
There's no self, okay, yeah. But it follows, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is no choice.
Right. So that means there is no choice at all.
No.
Right. So boundless energy doesn't choose to be what it is, in that sense.
No, it doesn't choose to be what it is. It just is.
It just is.
There's no choice for energy to be everything and nothing. It just is. That.
So what comes out of it comes out of it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Of course, for the individual, who goes into this strange reality of its own, believes that there is something like time, and journey and choice and future and past. But reality, the natural reality of energy, which is nothing being everything, is absolutely, completely without choice.
Yeah, because that comes back to the image of God who chooses, who creates first day and second day.
The story, there must be a God who, well, there usually is a God who would choose to direct this whole manifestation and you in it. Because the individual needs the sense of a purpose and would therefore need the sense of a higher authority.
You're safe in that.
It's higher authority is usually part of the whole. It has to be in the story, really. Not always, but usually in the story there's a higher authority.
It gives sense of security.
Yeah. And appliance, and the need in the individual. You know, when the individual becomes separate, there's a tremendous sense of unworthiness, because it's like being thrown out of paradise. So what comforts the individual is the sense that there's something else better than itself or higher than itself that's guiding it and protecting it.
In the same moment, there is the feeling of guilt, or could be the feeling of guilt.
To the father or the mother. These days, it's more like the mother, I think. And the mother is a far better figure than the father, because the mother is all forgiving and all wise and all loving, whereas the father's a bit sort of tough. Because dads were like that. The concept of nothing creating everything and it being absolutely acausal and impersonal is too frightening for the individual. It's too frightening.
Sometimes you use the word the self is melting, right? Into melting. The word melting. Right? Okay. So melting means an ice melts into water, right? Okay. So I've heard some teachers saying that the boundless energy is it swings higher, the frequency is higher, right? Than the self.
No, I think
the frequency.
Frequencies. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's high. It's always higher, isn't it?
Yeah, it's higher.
It's amazing. It's always this sort of levels of frequency.
Yeah.
And usually the teacher who's teaching that is at a very high level. You notice that? And the ones that he's teaching are a bit sort of down there. It's just, but then nothing melts into the boundless. There isn't anything that does melt into the boundless. There's no ice melting into water. There's nothing that is separate that then is not separate. There just is this. This is the eternal love. This is the eternal song. There isn't something to move into it. It is all there is. There's nothing that needs to happen, because what you long for is already this. It's already this. It always has been this. It always will be this, and yet there is no has been, and there is no will be. Because this is the beloved. There's only the beloved, always only the beloved. Thank you. How do you feel? Better? Better? Yeah. You have to let it run its course, really, don't you?
You're hardly on it, that's true.